Right now, floating invisibly just a few hundred miles above our heads, we are surrounded by over 131 million pieces of space shrapnel whipping around the Earth at an average speed of 10 kilometers a second. At these blistering velocities, a single collision between two satellites could trigger an unstoppable chain reaction, potentially annihilating the communication networks our modern world relies on. Welcome back to Mapi AI. Today, we are exploring the vacuum of space to witness a silent crisis, the rapidly closing prison of orbital debris. We are traveling straight into the thermosphere and exosphere to witness the hypervelocity reality threatening our access to the stars. Humanity has built an invisible cage around itself. The question is whether we will ever be able to safely leave this home planet again. To find the origins of this orbital minefield, we must look back to the very beginning of human space exploration in 1969. When Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin left the first footprints on the lunar surface, they also left behind a surprising amount of garbage: 2 pairs of heavy space boots, specialized mechanical tools, and 4 human vomit bags. The vastness of the cosmos made littering seem inconsequential. In those early pioneering days, the universe was treated as an infinite, empty dumping ground. As our presence in space expanded, that mindset of leaving things behind shifted into expensive accidents. In 2006, astronaut Suni Williams was struggling with a stuck solar array during a spacewalk and inadvertently lost her digital camera to the void. The following year, a similar maintenance job on the International Space Station resulted in the loss of an entire bag filled with $100,000 worth of specialized tools. Treating the universe as a dumping ground established a dangerous behavioral precedent. It shifted humanity into accidental negligence, feeding a growing belt of orbiting trash. Fortunately, objects lost in low Earth orbit have a natural expiration date. The faint drag of the Earth's upper atmosphere eventually slows their momentum, pulling them down to burn up upon re-entry. However, objects launched into higher altitudes, like the SpaceX Tesla Roadster, lack that atmospheric safety net. They remain stuck in their long, lonely orbits for the foreseeable future. This chart maps 131 million pieces of orbital debris, ranging from dead satellites down to microscopic paint flecks. That velocity vector line represents their speed, 10 kilometers a second, or 36,000 kilometers per hour, defying common intuition. Navigating this immense, high-speed swirling cloud presents an unavoidable mathematical nightmare for modern spaceflight. At 10 kilometers a second, a 1-centimeter screw carries the kinetic force of a high-velocity projectile, capable of vaporizing metal on impact. Out of the massive swarm encircling the globe, researchers estimate roughly 1 million pieces of debris are at least 1 centimeter across, large enough to destroy a multi-million-dollar satellite. This kinetic theory is a documented reality. We have witnessed what happens when these paths intersect. In 2009, a defunct, unpowered Russian satellite collided head-on with an active American communication satellite. Both machines violently exploded, erupting into thousands upon thousands of jagged, untrackable shards. Every collision drastically increases the density of the debris field. As thousands of fragments scatter across critical orbital lanes, the probability of future impacts rises significantly. This radar map illustrates an exponential runaway effect researchers call the Kessler Syndrome, triggered by a single collision. The initial shrapnel destroys other nearby satellites, which in turn explode. This continuous chain reaction exponentially multiplies the debris field. This cascade would sever the digital infrastructure we rely on for global communication, for GPS navigation, and weather monitoring. This chain reaction would effectively ground human progress, leaving us behind an impassable minefield that physically traps us on the planet. Because most space shrapnel burns up during atmospheric re-entry, it's easy to assume the billions living on the surface are immune to the chaos above. But the atmosphere is not a perfect shield. Particularly large and dense specimens of debris survive the brutal trip down to the ground. In August of 2022, a charred piece of a SpaceX capsule plummeted through the atmosphere and slammed directly into an agricultural field in Australia. As the total volume of space junk exponentially multiplies, the odds of a dangerous Earth impact grow directly alongside it. Rare accidental collisions are only part of the story. We must examine how this volume of trash is being generated on a daily basis. With the launch rate of modern rockets skyrocketing, is it already too late for humanity to escape the inescapable high-speed prison we built for ourselves? Our cosmic junkyard is the direct result of the routine, intentional design of our daily space programs. Every mission into the stars involves mechanics that actively pollute our orbit. Rocket motors spew microscopic, hypervelocity metallic slag from their exhausts, while solar radiation slowly erodes older spacecraft, flaking off millions of tiny, razor-sharp paint chips into the void. Standard launch procedures have historically been designed to intentionally abandon massive dead rocket bodies, protective cowlings, and explosive bolts directly into our orbital pathways. Since this specific machine, Sputnik, launched in 1957, humanity has ferried almost 16,000 individual satellites into space. To get them there, we relied almost entirely on thousands of single-use, disposable rockets. It is the mechanical equivalent of booking a flight on a commercial airliner and then throwing the airplane away to circle the airport forever. By treating the cosmos as a dumping ground, we have constructed the bars of our own orbital prison, cell by cell. Escaping this trap requires a change in how we reach orbit, specifically by addressing the inefficient one-to-one ratio of massive rockets to single payloads. Instead of dedicating an entire launch to one satellite, aerospace companies are utilizing miniaturization to deploy rideshare systems. This diagram shows the efficiency of the new standard. Modern rockets pack a honeycomb-like structure that simultaneously deploys over 100 individual cubic satellites in a single launch. Increasing this payload ratio reduces the number of dead rocket bodies left floating in the exosphere. Redesigning the launch phase shifts orbital infrastructure toward precision deployment, mitigating the production of new debris at the source. Preventing new garbage is one part of the solution. We must also manage existing technology before it fails and turns into unpredictable shrapnel. Aerospace corporations are developing servicer satellites to act as orbital mechanics. These maneuverable drones rendezvous with older hardware to inspect and repair solar arrays. By docking with these aging machines to refuel them, these drones can extend a satellite's operational life by decades, keeping it out of the dead debris swarm. Eventually, every machine reaches the end of its utility. The ideal retirement procedure for a decommissioned satellite is a controlled re-entry. By reserving a small amount of fuel, operators fire the satellite's thrusters in reverse to slow its orbital velocity. Earth's gravity then pulls it down, and the friction of the atmosphere incinerates the metal before it ever reaches the ground. While engineers have developed the technical life cycle to manage these machines, the failure to keep orbits clean often stems from a lack of mandated procedures. Current space regulation is characterized by a significant gap between engineering capability and geopolitical reality. International guidelines currently permit defunct satellites to drift unpowered for 25 years after their mission ends. During these 2.5 decades, these dead machines are vulnerable to catastrophic collisions that create more debris. While facilities like this Mission Control Center track global trajectories with immense precision, a lack of international accountability allows corporations and governments to abandon hardware once it stops being profitable. These policy failures have forced engineers to develop retroactive methods to clean up the hazards left behind. Addressing the millions of pieces of debris already in orbit requires active remediation. For smaller fragments, researchers propose using highly concentrated laser facilities based on Earth or on specialized satellites. This diagram illustrates the ablation method. The laser doesn't blow the junk up. Instead, energy vaporizes a microscopic surface layer into a plasma cone. That gas jet acts as a miniature thruster, nudging the debris into a lower orbit to be incinerated. While lasers handle microshrapnel, larger hazards like dead rocket stages and massive satellites require more forceful intervention. Aerospace companies are designing heavy-duty space tugboats to manage these large objects. These tow trucks match the speed and spin of the rogue junk, using magnetic plates or tethered harpoons to securely breach the hull. Once snared, the tugboat fires its main engines to drag the massive debris out of crowded orbital highways and down into the atmosphere. These specialized space harpoons and laser arrays are the measures required to address a history of neglect. The abandoned satellites and rogue rocket boosters currently in orbit are the result of decades of prioritizing immediate mission goals over long-term orbital sustainability. If our current operating procedures continue, we risk turning our orbital environment into a permanent, impassable cage. To ensure we can continue to reach the stars, we must evolve our approach to respect and protect the environment above the clouds, just as we do on the ground. If this look at the engineering of space cleaning technologies upgraded your perspective, hit that like button right now. It tells the algorithm to spread this cosmic science. And share this video with a friend who loves the future of tech. Before you go, leave a comment down below. If you were designing a cosmic garbage truck, would you rely on Earth-based lasers or robotic space harpoons? Let us know, and do not forget to subscribe to Mapi AI to keep upgrading your brain every week.